Hello, it's finally here. I'm finally doing it. So yes, welcome to my channel. I don't have any nails on. I've tried to film this video possibly 4 times already. If the audio seems weird, let's ignore it. Please. I'm so tired of it. Thank you. Also, if I have different looks throughout this video, like I said, I tried to film this 4 times. Yeah. So I have a background in art direction. So that means like anything under the art direction film umbrella, I have studied and I have a passion for, whether it be set design, fashion and costumes, hair and makeup, special effects, props. I have done it all. That's what like I mainly focus on, or just have more knowledge on, like production design, art direction. But also I also have a specialty and focus in editing. That has become a very big passion of mine. You can see clearly in all of my works with my group. I don't know how I got into it for real, but once I was in, we were locked. Me and the Miss Premiere Pro, we are locked. We are locked. And then recently in the last few months, I have taught myself how to do 3D work. Why? I don't know. How? I can tell you either, because my computer is dying right now. She's literally dying right now. I'm not even joking. As many times as I've tried to open this computer and it crashed every time I try to open up a 3D program, dear Lord, I need a new computer. Someone send me a new graphics card, please. Please. I promise I won't use a graphics card for gaming purposes. I would like to start a series. I haven't come up with a name for it yet. Still thinking about it. Maybe it doesn't even need a name. I don't even know. But the series is gonna be mostly, what I like to do, since I'm very passionate about music, what I like to do is when I listen to songs, I like to envision like how the song would look like. Essentially, basically coming up with a music video for it. And over time, I've made like a list of songs that I like wrote down and actually like sat down and thought about like how I would do this music video and stuff like that. And I decided to challenge myself and actually make it. Actually go through the basically kind of like the pre-production process of it, of like storyboarding, coming up with the artboard for it, just to kind of like showcase the vision I have for it, and then putting my editing chops to the test and actually editing a little clip of how I would essentially like kind of like creative direct this song. Now, disclaimer, this is more so an exercise to kind of work on the skills that I've learned throughout the years, to put them to good use, sharpen them up, you know, and really just kind of practice my editing and stuff like that. Right now for this particular video, I did mostly just 3D work because I was really interested in more so developing that area. But upon further review, she might be limited because this computer, like I said, is dying. So, as the title will say, the first song that we are doing, Tinashe. We're doing Tinashe's I Can See the Future. Can I say love you? Yeah. I can say love you. Yeah. And if you couldn't tell, I am a Tinashe girl. I am a Tinashe girl. Live, love, breathe, my girl. When I think about when I first heard it, of course, on the album, obviously I loved it. Obviously. So obviously when you think of Future, you think of like Cyberpunk, your Akira, your Total Recall, your Blade Runners, like brutalism architecture, very neon punk, very that. But because of how the song sounds, I want it to be a lot softer. I was thinking, let's go classical and futuristic. Let's do both to kind of like juxtapose, not juxtapose, but kind of like, well, juxtapose each other. Because when you also think of future in a classical sense, to me, the first thing that jumps out is Greek, like ancient Greek and Greek mythology. How did I come to that? I don't know. It's just how the noggin works. How I'm gonna separate this is I'm gonna show you more of the inspiration / artboard on my Pinterest, kind of like the ideals I pulled from. Then I'm gonna show a little time lapse of my workflow and how all that came together. And then I will show the finished piece. Please bear with me, please. And here we go. So going off of my Pinterest, the first section, let's talk about the historical references that I pulled from. Of course, like I said, Greek mythology. When you think of like top figures in Greek mythology, of course you think of Percy Jackson, but also when it comes to females, there's your Aphrodite, Medusa, and while I did still pull from them, I feel like that was so on the nose. When thinking about like other like kind of stories or people I can pull from, I remembered from Hercules, of all places, the sisters that like shared one eye, the Fates, or there is Hecate. I just like the imagery of 3, especially since the album is 333. I really think a 3 symbolism is very important here. And of course, there's like the classic like Greek patterns that you see in a lot of their artwork, an easy imagery for people to see and be like, oh, Greek. Especially when it comes to the architecture and the columns. Very, very symbolic. People recognize it. Now, when it comes to the production, going from that ancient architecture to how the set would be, I still want those classic structures to be shown, but pulled into a futuristic stance. Still those like kind of classic structures, but a lot of the textures and props in there would be lent towards that futuristic feel. I kind of think of like an old abandoned space that got taken over and making it futuristic, so it's very lived in, to give it very dystopian almost. But the main thing I really wanted to focus texture-wise and symbolism-wise is using glass and lighting to show reflections all throughout the space. And mostly I would like a white background, but dark enough to where the shadows are the main point of the space. All those reflections kind of give off this watery empty feeling, almost to a sense that she would be in a crystal ball. So like the whole world, in a sense, is taking place inside of a crystal ball. And I really like the imagery of just like fog and even just like large structures, just to kind of feel like you're looking into something. Of course, it looks very clean visually to kind of aid in that futurism feel, but also it's very cold and isolating, which to me fits the mood of the song. Lots of silvers, blues, some greens, white, black, also dealing with cool tones and kind of playing with more of like the shadow work. With the glass and water and the reflections, I also want to kind of be a symbolism of different reflections of self and kind of like playing with those reflections. If the set has those materials, to kind of be like this reflection of this future, this reflection of how this future, and a reflection of self. Almost very Madam Webby, Doctor Strange multiversy. Also with the idea of like it taking place within a crystal ball, circles are gonna play a huge part. And I also think circles also have like the symbolism of like life is a cycle, and when thinking of like the future, what goes around comes around, kind of in a sense. And I thought that would be pretty interesting to put in there. Now, this is probably my favorite part, hair and makeup. So, in my mind, when it comes to makeup and futurism, especially now with this kind of trend, Y2K is really like in our face. It's like the trend, it's like the thing to do. With the Y2K in our face, and then also the clean girl kind of thing I've seen going on, I think those two can mesh really well. Face wise, very minimal, fresh face, like a natural to dewy / glossy finish, but then with a little bit of shadow that lends towards cool tones to grayscale, very much more silver, definitely more glitter, just to give it a little bit of a pop towards the eye, and then with a graphic liner that's to almost be tribal-esque in a way, just enhance and give more shapes to the face. Kind of close to like this, with the Medusa concept before. I really like, well, in general, Tinashe, I haven't seen her do a lot of like bold colors with her hair. It's usually just honey blonde, black, and then in braids. In photo shoots, she has done like more intricate styles and abstract styles that have a lot of shape, but I'm usually known for her to really push her hair with her braids. So I was thinking if I did the Medusa thing, it would be cool to have the braids beaded at the ends, and the beads have a point to where it looks like it's snakes. Instead of having the actual snakes for hair, the braids would be the snakes, and then the accessories of the beads would kind of be the shape of the snakes, but then they can also be switched out, and you can have more textures and shapes with the beads to kind of make it more abstract and have more different like shapes with it, depending on how the beads are made or which beads you choose to kind of go with the outfit. I thought that would be really a cool kind of thing. And then the reason I want the face to kind of be a little bit more minimalistic is because I would like the accessories to shine. Now, when it comes to accessories, I am thinking abstract shapes. I'm thinking chrome details, either on the face or attached as an accessory to the ears, necklace, mask, you name it. I really do like those chrome water shapes, or just like those natural shapes of like the chrome that I see a lot of like 3D artists incorporate into their models. I know they're trying to make it more IRL fashion, like wearable fashion. I really want the fashion to kind of have the shape of those like ancient togas and stuff like that, but the accessories added on to be more harsh and to make it futuristic, but still keep the shapes more like that watery aspect to still be very soft. Especially if you're doing like a Greek theme, a goddess dress, I need it. But very clean lines and silhouettes, but a lot of texture to add those depths in there. And so with that, some references. You can think of Grimes, especially the Shinigami Eyes video. Very aespa. In terms of cinematography, I was visualizing more of those Missy Elliott with the fish islands. I don't know why, but specifically Lil Kim in How Many Legs the Night Rider. Of course, Aaliyah, TLC, a lot of like what Chloe and Halle did for the Ungodly era. I like it a lot. But that's kind of like those references I'm pulling from. But as far as just like in general aesthetic imagery, these are just some of the things I thought would be kind of on the mood board. And then of course, Mother herself. Now Tinashe, the thing I love about her, I can have an idea like, oh my god, she should do this. She will do it. We are on the same wavelength. Or I can be like, oh, I wish she would have done this. You go back in her files, she's already been on that wave. People are like, oh, I love this new sound someone's doing. She's been on that wave. Oh, I love this new concept someone's done. She's been on that wave. She's always been ahead of the game, and I'm tired of people not recognizing her game. So, literally thinking about this video, because I come up with the concept like randomly when I start listening to it, and then like I'll watch the video, and then like I'll like randomly I'll like go back and be like, oh my god, I love Tinashe. And then I go back to her old stuff, and I'm like, dang, she did do that already. So when I said like, oh, she doesn't do like that many crazy colors, I was like, when I was thinking of like what colors I should do, I was like, dang, I would love her in like a pastel. Then I go back, she already did like the white gray pastel thing for the 333 visual trailer. She's been on that wave. So yeah, so those are just like the mood board of everything. Now, onto the editing. Now, when it comes to the editing part, this is a hot mess. This is a straight hot mess. I literally was like, you know what? Let me just teach myself how to do 3D work in a week. And I did. And my computer crashed 15 times. None of the things I tried to do worked. So I had to watch almost over 50 hours of YouTube videos to figure out how to do the specific thing I was trying to do. But yeah, so here's that process. So first off, I grabbed a few pictures of Tinashe and I made a 3D model of her head. And it's based off of like the different cameras. If you can see, it's different cameras that will show the picture and then you kind of like model it from there. Hard to explain. But anyways, I was like, oh, cute. Can't even. I just cleaned it up, tried to blend between all the photos. If you know what photos it is, slay to you. And I was like, oh my god, yes, this is it. But since it's just a projection of a picture, it looked really realistic, but I couldn't do anything with it. Like, it was just the head. Like, if I did this and then like added stuff to it and just like use this as a picture, this would be fine. But for some reason, when I tried to attach it to a head and like tried to move it, it just would not attach and would not move. Now that I know a little bit more after like doing my research and stuff, I probably know how to attach it a little bit better and probably know how to make it work, but still it was just frustrating me. It was just like nothing was moving, girl. And so here's this like random body attached to it, and here's like me adding the bones so I can move it. And I was like, girl, it just wasn't working. So then I downloaded another 3D program and added the face there, and that worked a lot better because it was actually like a slider instead of a projection. And then I was able to add the images on top of that for the face map textures, and that worked a lot better because then when I exported that and put it in my other program, that worked, and it was already added bones. Only thing is with the slider, for some reason the face just looks weird, but once you put the picture on it, it's fine. So then I put it into this other 3D program that does it specifically for clothes, and then I put it back into my original one and then added hair. Now, dear God, working with hair was the biggest pain I've ever had to deal with in my life. This is up there with, I think, cutting off your leg, having a baby, working with 3D programs. Like, I can name all the most painful things. Working with 3D hair is up there. It's up there. But this is like the little set. It just has like a little water background, and then it was like a futuristic sci-fi tunnel, and then I just added columns and like the Greek thing to it. Very simple. Kept it very simple. My computer couldn't do too much. So then here's me like playing with the hair, trying to see what color works best. Of course, I wanted to do blue, but like all the colors I want to do just kept blending into the background. And then I was like, girl, why don't you just do black? No, black blends with the dress. I want to do blue. Blue blends in with the lighting. Then I was like red, and it was really cute. And I've seen a picture of Tinashe in red hair before, but I was like, it's giving Ariel. So then I was like, let me just do white. And then when I found that picture of Tinashe in white hair, I was like, validated. And then to me, I was like, white hair, she's an ancient like goddess. She'll still be slaying with white hair. I don't know, like that's just giving almost like vampire, but not. Yeah. And then here's me in Photoshop. So once you have a face map, it's basically just a picture, and then it's just projected onto a 3D surface, so it's just distorted once you lay it flat. But like once it's in 3D, of course it's whatever. So I was like, oh my god, it's just a picture. Girl, let me just put it in Photoshop and try and do makeup. Mind you, I don't know the skew of everything, so I don't know how things look. So I tried my best. I was just playing around with it. Now I know I can do better. I can do it. Like, this looks horrible. It was my first time, guys. It was my first time. Now I know I can do better, I think. But I was like, let me see if I can do makeup. Cause like, girl, if it's one thing that gotta look good, it's the makeup. But this did not look good. But in real life, just know I got you. Like, I got y'all. Like, the looks here, if you want me to recreate it IRL and do a video, I will do that. Because if it's one thing I can do, it's that. Please. But yeah, I just added makeup to it. Also, I don't know if you saw, but the accessories that I had on her ears for this first look, it was based off a sculpture that I found. I used a lot of free resources because I'm obviously not that well versed into modeling and sculpting and all that. So I used a lot of like base models, and that base model was like a sculpture, like for a house or something, and I scaled it down to like put it next to her ear, and then from there I like added like those spikes. But then I was like, when you turn it to the side, it looks like a T. So I was like, interesting. So this is the second look. I want it to be more like Oracle-esque. So that's why it has the hood, but still I wanted like those chromes and reflective, just to give it a little bit more futuristic. I loved the look with the hair and the face, but I was like, I wanted to add a third eye. So I was like, I can't have it covering her face. So that's when I was like, oh, how can I do all of that at the same time? Boom, just add 3 other ones and just make it the Oracle. Slay. But also, because the outfit is like a separate attachment, like a whole, I can't edit it once it's already downloaded and moved into this main program. So like, I have to edit the hair to make sure it doesn't intersect with the outfit. And even in the final thing, you can still see that the hair is poking through, and it just frustrated me. So I actually had to shave the back of her head, and then the outfit was, when I moved it, was colliding with the body. So then I had to like actually paint on the outfit on her body. So that's why it has those squares and stuff you'll see. And it was just, it was hard, guys. But then this is the final one with the crystal ball in the middle, and then it's actually silver plants, because I saw like one picture it had like silver plants, and I really like that. But of course I still had the marble. This is the dance outfit where it has the snake skin, just to get more Medusa vibes. And as you can see, the makeup is way better. The makeup is way better. Slay. But for some reason the skin came out super shiny, and I don't know why, because the other ones weren't, but I decided to leave it just to give it like that snaky, like slimy feeling. And then this is just a little snippet of the program with the to do the clothes, just to show you how it works. And that was just me like going through different outfits for the last one, because I was like, I wanted to do another hood just so I didn't have to do hair again, but I was like, it's too close to the Oracle one, so I just decided to do this random dress. So yeah, that is a little bit of my process. And then here is the final video. I hope you like it.
said I don't play by what's mine. I'm not a psychic, I can read your mind. If you with it, don't waste my time. If you with it, don't waste my time. You in love with it, never done with it. Finger in your face, telling you to come get it. This level's to a bad bitch, you gotta come different. You used to the same, so I gotta show 'em different. I can see the future, I can see the future. And it looks like you and I, and it looks like you and I. Oh. I can see the future, I can see the future. And it feels like paradise, and it feels like paradise. Oh. Damn, get ready for love, get ready for me. I made up my mind, I want it to myself. Get ready for love, get ready for me. I'll make it worthwhile. I can see the future, I can see the future. And it looks like you and I, and it looks like you and I. Oh. And it feels like paradise, and it feels like paradise.
So that's all for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hopefully I get a lot better at this. And I am working on the next one already. But if you have any recommendations, leave them below. I'll listen to them and see if a vision pops up in my mind. I have a whole list of songs that I've been saving for like a while that I've been thinking of doing. So I'm gonna try my best to get that out consistently. Editing takes forever, so girl, I don't know what consistently means for me. But you'll be seeing me a lot more in the future. And catch me at Tinashe's concert. I am finally seeing Mother in person. After how many years I've been a fan, I'm finally seeing her in person. I know, call me fake. I don't care. A girlie was broke and didn't have no time when she had a job. But now the timing is just right. And I feel like the timing, oh my God, the timing in my mind, like me coming out with this video and then me getting oh my God. I'm also thinking of if I should do 3D or just do it myself, like actually have me in front of the green screen doing it to show like how I would do it. But it just depends on how intricate. Also, my phone died and doesn't have any more storage, so gotta deal with that, especially since I have to film soon. Back to using my stream camera. If you're gonna ask me, do I stream? Not yet. As you can tell, it's my computer she needs an update badly. But I do stream. Some games that I would love to stream are Mortal Kombat, Baldur's Gate. I need to play Baldur's Gate. I need to play Baldur's Gate. I'm not playing with y'all. I need to play Baldur's Gate. But I have some other stuff planned. Hopefully it comes out soon. Hopefully you stick around when I get a lot better. It's a process. It's a journey. But thank you for watching. And hopefully you'll see me next time.